cost me to have what I want. You see, these two examples Jesus used of the tower and of the warring kings are pointing to, look what happens if you do not consider carefully what you're going to do. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to realize that you're going to get somewhere and you don't want to be. He says, look, if you're going to lay the foundation of following me, and you realize that it's no longer worth the effort of following me, you're just going to give up. And because you give up, people are going to see that. And they're going to ridicule you because they're going to say, oh, look at a person. A person who says that they're going to be a follower of Christ, but yet they couldn't even do it. They couldn't finish. Because you will be remembered to be a person who could not finish what they started. You made the mistake of thinking that you could gain victory without first considering what it was going to cost you. You see, Jesus wanted us to understand that if we're going to follow him, that we're going to need to finish if we start. That he's calling us not to start and then realize after some point that the lifestyle that Jesus is calling us to is too difficult for us to go by. And so we turn around and give up. And Paul puts it this way in his first letter to the church in Corinth, in chapter 9, verses 24 through 25, where he says, do you not know that in a race all runners run, but only one gets the prize? Therefore run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. You see, Paul is eloquently saying that to follow Jesus, it's like you're running a race. And I don't know about you, but I'm very competitive. And when I do something, whether it's sports-wise or board games or whatever, I want to win. I'm just going to be honest with you. I want to win. I hate losing. And Heather can tell you, she can tell me, like, she can tell you that when I lose to her, she knows that it's kind of funny to her because my mood like changes. But Paul is saying, run the race. Finish it so you can claim the prize. Because the only people who get to claim the prize are the ones who finish the race. But not only that, but also run in such a way that you're going to get the prize. That you are not going to stop. Because those who compete in such races understand what it takes to get the prize. They understand what it takes to get to the finish line. Now, I don't run marathons. I know lots of people who do. Does anybody here do marathons? No? Okay, that's fine. But I will tell you that if you run a marathon, you don't just willy-nilly go, yeah, I'm going to run a marathon and do no training for it whatsoever. In fact, you have to go into a strict regimen of running. That you run a certain distance for a little bit, and then you add on to it. You slowly build up until you're able to run the marathon. Which, once again, God bless those people. I can't do it. But they understand that if they want to finish, no matter how long it takes, they have to understand the cost that it is going to take them. They understand that if they want to finish that line, they have to train their bodies so that they can claim the prize at the end of the race. They understand what it would take for them to finish. They understand it's going to cost them time to prepare for it. They understand that they have to change their diet to finish the race. They understand they have to drink lots and lots of water. They have to change their lifestyle in order to finish the race. For they understand what it's going to cost them to run that race. And in very much the same way, Jesus wants us to understand the cost that it's going to take to finish the race. He wants us to understand that following him is going to cost us quite a bit. And that if we want to follow him, that we're willing to enter into a strict discipline. That we're going to train ourselves to finish what we start. So that we can have victory. So Jesus is saying, do not be somebody who cannot reach the finish line. So think carefully. Be a Mathetes. Be a learner who is making the mental effort to consider what is going to cost you to conform to the image of Christ. And so what does it look like to make such an effort to be a follower of Christ? To be a Mathetes? Well, now we'll be looking back at Luke 14. We'll be looking at 26 through 27, where Jesus says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be a disciple. And then for added emphasis, I'll reread verse 33. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciple. See, what does it look like to be a Mathetes of Christ? Well, we're giving up everything. We give up our families. We give up our lives. We let go of everything to follow him. So you see, as we are being Mathetes, as we are learning to conform to the lifestyle of Christ, as we are becoming Christ, we are committed ourselves to the process of being Christ and all that we do, to the point that we are giving up everything. For if we carefully consider what Jesus' call to us is, come follow me, then we quickly will see that the answer that should emerge if we are thinking about what Jesus wants from us is that God